Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Joey here, and today we're gonna do a little overrun of Bellagio Valley Zoo. Now this is my first ever park that I built in the console edition, but if you want to see a full extent detail of the park, I made four-part videos of it, each section, and talking about the animals, the habitats, and all of that stuff. So if you guys want to watch that, by all means. But today is going to be a little quick overrun of the game and maybe give you some tips and tricks of how to, how to play. Not saying that I'm a professional, I'm far from it, but to give, beginners out there a little bit of, you know, something that would fresh them up a bit, because I know this game is very complex in so many ways, very overwhelming for those, especially for those who only plays Jurassic World Evolution too, like such as myself. I felt like I was overwhelmed by the content and everything that I felt like I was gonna give up from the game since day one. But lo and behold, I've been playing this game for since the game just came out. So, one thing that I want to point out is that I highly recommend getting this game for the consoles. It's really good. It's I'm not gonna say if it's better or not than the PC, because I haven't played the PC version. I don't even have a PC. I only have a PlayStation 5. But it is a good game. I highly recommend it. So if you guys are still on the edge of buying the game, trust me, you will have fun. You'll be addicted. You would even know that how much time you waste playing this game. That's how good it is. Anyways, Bellagio Valley Zoo. Now, Bellagio Valley Zoo is a North American based zoo. Now, the whole concept of this is because I bought the North American pack way back when. I think it was when the game came out, the North American pack. And I want to play, each and every continent their own type of zoo. Since I don't know the capacity of this game, I cannot add so many animals. So my idea is to add each animal from the continent their own zoo. For example, in North America, the next one's going to be Africa, so on and so forth. So that's why we have a North American style. Not all animals, I will say not all animals are from North America. But, the point still staying that this is a North American zoo. Now, why Bellagio Valley Zoo? I did explain on episode 1 that Bellagio was a street that I used to live, back in my childhood, and I want to honor it with that Bellagio Valley Zoo, which is really cool. So, one thing you notice is scenery is the one thing I want to capture in this zoo, especially like, for example, once you come into the park, the first thing you'll see is this wonderful scenery of the whole park. Gets you awe-inspired by the natural beauty. Because when I think of North America, I think of Yellowstone. I think of Yosemite. I don't think of, the traffic of the Los Angeles cities or New York. I don't think of those stuff. I don't think that's not North America to me. That's United States. I know it's the same thing, but North America, I think of this. I think of natural environment, landscape, trees, mountains, waterfalls, whatever. That's North America to me. So yeah, so that's what I want. Oh, look at that. Pronghorn is going up there. So that's what I want to base on some of the attractions here. So let's get into the attractions. The first one we're gonna go through is the Great Plains. Did someone? What the heck? I just heard a weird noise. I don't know if you guys heard that too. Sounds like a chicken. I was like, well, we are have chickens here. Anyways, oh, I do have HDHD, so ADD. So like, if I hear something weird, I will point it out. Anyways. So yeah, the Great Plains consists with some of the vast dry landscape of the North America, with some of the animals like the American bison, pronghorn, and the peccaries. Those are some of the animals that you see here. So we have the peccaries, pronghorn, and the bison. Yeah, and again, scenery is very important into this game. So I'm trying to get something that when you go in here, it's just mind-blowing spectacles. Waterfall is a huge spectacle. People love water, even to this day. Like, I want waterfall in Jurassic World Evolution too. This right here, it's a perfect waterfall. Something simple. We don't need a fancy waterfall in the game. Simple such as this is something that I want in Jurassic World Evolution 2. Hopefully the third installment, we get waterfalls, please. But yeah, waterfalls is something that I want to add a lot into my park. As you can see, a lot into my park. That's how much I'm so obsessed with waterfall, because playing Jurassic World Evolution for 4, 5 years and not getting waterfalls, you know that I want to get my fix. Another thing that I will give some tips for you guys, especially beginners or something that you guys are feeling on the edge of getting the game, some tips and tricks will help you out maybe, is sticking with one theme. Again, North America. And it really helps out because I know there's a lot of foliage, a lot of construction, a lot of items. It does feel overwhelming. We got some Africa stuff, we got some Asian stuff, we got some North American stuff. You just don't know when to start. So again, pick a theme, whatever theme that you want to pick. If you want to start a Asian zoo, go ahead and start it. Just pick the Asian items only zoo if you want. For the habitats, I know there's a lot of advice out there saying just go out with the foliage. It just makes your habitats so much pretty. And I've been doing that a lot. Like I sometimes I mix some African foliage with some North American foliage. But for beginners out there, if you don't know where to start, it's overwhelming. Here's the thing. You click on an animal, you go to environment, you go show appropriate plants. Once you go there, there's so many variety of plants on a North American base that are exclusive for the animal's liking. Plants, rocks, trees, whatever. And majority of the times, that's why they do with the environment here, is to give them their needs. But once I get more comfortable with the game and experience with more of the items, I can go all out and use some foliage that are not from their needs, but still make the habitat beautiful. But you don't need to try that right now. Just stick with what they want until you start to progress into the game. Another thing that I would give advice to you guys is playing elevation. In Jurassic World Evolution 2, the biggest options in that game, for me at least, is the terrain tools. And Jurassic World Evolution 2 only has 4 options for terrain. Here, you get a variety of it. You get a lot. So I know it feels overwhelming, but here's my take on it. Do not sleep on the stamp tool. Will help you out, especially beginners. For example, let's say if you want to make a lake and you don't know how to make a perfect symmetrical lake, well, you could go into one of these tools. For example, let's go to the square, and you could add or subtract. It really doesn't matter. It helps you a lot. And just press it, and it'll make a symmetrical shape for you. And let's say you make a mistake, it's okay, because if we hold X here, we could redo the damage that you have done, and you could start all over. There's so many options that I feel like it will make you guys easy. But yeah, if you want to start, play around with some of the items first. That's what I did. I play around. If I didn't like how I did it, I could redo it. And if you make a mistake, it's okay. It's good to make mistakes into this game because this game doesn't have rules. This is your build, your vision, your masterpiece. No one should tell you how to play how you want to play the game. We all here to learn and improve, and this is why I love playing games like this, because I start to learn, I start to improve. Look at my building structures. They're horrible. They're horrible, but look, I start to improve little by little. You see that? I start to improve. I didn't build this, so don't think that, oh my gosh, Joey, look at this. No, it came with it, right? But you can see how it starts to improve. It started here. This is the first building I built. I didn't know what I was doing. And then I start to get the hang of the whole entire building structure. And it becomes more symmetrical. Just play around with it. Look at this. Here's another example. Look at my dome here. Cruddy. Cruddy. Look at here. Symmetrical. Symmetrical. It's all about improvement. It's all about learning. And as we learn, we start to see how far we go into this build. Remember, we started from nothing. We started from here, and it ended up being like this. It's fun. It's something that we should just like negate from from all of that stuff. Oh man, I can't do it. Oh man, I wish I'm like, Caesar Creates or Evolution Square. I can't be like them. Yeah, you can. Just play around with it. Start out slow, little steps, detail. Yeah, I'm not perfect, but I'm proud from what I did. And you should be too. So let's continue. We'll go again with the evolution. This is the Bellagio Falls again with the waterfall. I went all out with the waterfalls with this park. Um, but yeah, now we go into more of the enclosed area because I want to build more exhibits that has enclosed. Look at my dome. Horrible. I could change it. Of course I could change it. I could redo it, but I just try to keep it in there because again, this is something that back in I could look back on and be like, wow, this is how I started. You know what I mean? It's good to look back on old buildings that you started from your own, and now look at where you started, where you from now. So this is the critter house. Consists with some of the exhibit animals from North America, like the Gila monster, rattlesnakes. Oh, sorry about that. Gosh, I'm still used with these controllers, guys. I can't zoom in and zoom out like Jurassic World. Scorpions. We have the rattlesnake, the Gila monster, and we have the red knee tarantula here. So, like some of the critters deadliest. Here we have the first ever walk-in exhibit that I built with the prairie dogs. And then, like I said, not all animals are North American based. As you can see, we have this Al Aldabra tortoise. It's not from North America, it's from Africa. And I don't have a lot of animals compared to the PC. So I have to use some animals from other continents just to fill up the gaps here. Another example of that is the donkey. Yeah, we don't have the farm pack. I forgot what it's called. The barnyard pack. But I'm saving it for the American standard donkey once the donkey will arrive. Again, more sceneries that I, play around with it, you know what I mean? Just play around with some of the sceneries. Habitats, you don't need to build like habitats upon habitats upon habitats for your zoo. Sometimes you gotta take a little breather for the guests. Just get them, something to enjoy and relax on. More sceneries like this will just improve your parks and some of the empty gaps out there too, because that's one of the problems I have when I used to play Jurassic World Evolution 2 is that I used to have empty gaps. I don't know what to do with them, but there's so many decorations that you could place on. Just go all out. Again, it's your creative freedom. Go all out, see what works, see what doesn't work. Restaurants is another thing that I am learning as well as I go. Just playing around with some of the environments. And yeah, I like environments. Look at this one right here, Riverwalk. Played around with the terrain pool. Again, the stamp is your best friend. So this is something that I cooked up here. With Bellagio Falls, you go down here into Riverwalk. So let's talk about the beaver just a little bit, because as you can see right here, scenery again is mostly important. Theming is so important here as well. And the theming that I use here is logs, because beavers, well, when I think of beavers, I think of them with logs, wood, etc., etc. They love those stuff. Here's another tool that I give you guys an advice is the duplication tab. Once you clicked it, you could duplicate a log, or you could duplicate whatever items. Here, another thing that once you hold it, you could multi-select. Let's say you want more logs. You could duplicate that as well. Makes your time a lot easier and faster. So do not sleep on the duplicated tab. And that's what I did here. Just play around with some of the structures. Makes it visually more appealing. So yeah, so the Riverwalk consists with beavers, alligators, flamingos, and other exhibit animals like the bullfrog and the terrapin tortoises. Riverwalk is a park that I used to go, and that's where I got the name Riverwalk. And it looks like you are walking on a river. So yeah, a lot of elevation that I play around here. The water tool is something that you need to get used to because it's not like, you know, how in Jurassic World you could place water. You have to have some sort of a barrier to place some water or else it's not gonna work. But again, the stamp tool, again, I'm gonna go all out here. So let's go into water. You can't add water willy-nilly. It's not like in Jurassic World where you could add water on some sort of landscape. See, it's obstructed. But if you add a stamp tool, boom, go to water, you could add water. So again, it's all about playing with some of the options into this game. And this is one thing that I did a lot here, is playing with the terrain tools and the water. It took a lot of trial and errors, to be quite honest with you. But once you get the feeling of it, it's really cool. It's really cool. So yeah, here are the flamingos. I wish we do have more aquatic birds other than the flamingos. I don't have swans. I want to add swans in this game. But we don't have storks, nor ibises, or, you know, any of those. We don't have birds in general. We have birds, but we don't have a lot of variety of birds, you know. All right, well, let's talk about exhibit animals here. And as you can see, go all out with the exhibit animals. Do not sleep on the exhibit animals too. You know, play around with some of the creative decorations and all of that stuff. In here, what I'm trying to aim for is to not make it look like an exhibit. I wanted it to feel like an actual pond. And I don't know if I did a good job or not. It really depends on your perspective of things. But I tried to make it like one big panoramic view. But it's really hard to tell since you could see the glass glaring from the sunlight, which is kind of breaks the illusion of it. But I'm really satisfied how it turned out, because it does look like you could just walk in here and just grab a frog. But that's the goal that I was aiming for in this exhibit, is just to have that feeling that it doesn't look like an exhibit. So what you guys think? Does it feel like an exhibit? It's really hard to tell, to be quite honest. Like so there's some angles that it feels, you know, you could actually touch the frogs, but there's also angles where it feels like, oh, that's obviously glass in there. So that's the whole concept for the bullfrog. The terrapin is very simple and built. You know, it's not like an actual, like, try to touch the turtle and all that stuff. I really want to make more panoramic exhibits. But yeah, as you can see the glass here. So I didn't really get that illusion effect that it seems like there's just one big long exhibit. But still, you know, it still looks really nice and very unique as well. So play around with some of the exhibit animals. It's really fun. I know it's not a lot of people's cup of tea, but you know, once you get the hang of some of the options and the tools and all that stuff. Look at this. This is really cool. I really like this. This creature is not from, yeah, this is the buoy crested newt. I think these are from Europe. But again, with some of the limited options of animals, you know, there's a lot, yeah, you want to do, but you don't have a lot of animals to do it, so you have to borrow some animals. You know, I want bald eagles. That's one thing I want in this game. I want manatees. Would it be cool to have manatees swimming? But, you know, it is what it is. Again, more scenery, you know, like, for example, like plantation work here. Some of the plants, foliage. Again, all of them are North American based. I'm having trouble just getting in here. Let's go to Explorer mode. Just give you, yeah, scenery such as this. Spend some time with the game as much as possible. Play around with them, the items. So sceneries, like a little garden here. Yeah, perfect, perfect. Doesn't have to be habitats or animals here and there. Here's another scenery view. And some of them are like North American items. Some of them, not a lot of them, some of them. But you know, I don't go all out with sorry, I fell. All of it. So we now are going to Bellagio Lake. So let's go through some of the animals in here. So yeah, see, it's really a small zoo if you think about it. It's not really that big, but with all these details and all of that stuff, it seems like a big zoo, especially if you're going to first person and you're going walking around. Yeah, but all in all, it's not really that big of a zoo, and it my capacity is about like 78%. So even if it's a small zoo, there's so many details here that really just fill up the capacity. So we have Central Park, we have Main Street. Again, these buildings are not built by me, so don't expect to be like, oh wow, Joey, you're actually pretty good. No, this is from the Europe pack. Kind of took it from it because I really like the design. I know it's not like North America feel, it does seems like European feel, but again, I really like it, so I want to use it. There's no harm in there, right? So we have the wolves here. We have our little puppy. Let's look at our puppy. Oh, so cute. 6 years old. Oh, adorable. I can't. Here's the wolf's den. Something that I like to build. Little cave areas for our guests. We have the mountain lions right over here. We have a little baby cub sleeping. We also have a cub in our bear exhibit. The bear exhibit is very unique, and I will show that in a bit. But for those who see part 3, you already know they're probably sleeping. So there you are, sleeping. So we will get to go there. But yeah, the Bear Cave Cafe is this way. This is from the aquatic pack, by the way. All of this structure is aquatic pack. Just use the opportunity to use as much items as I want in my park. This is Bellagio Lake. Again, look at all the scenery that goes on here. Focus a lot of scenery because that's how I picture North America. North America to me is this. This is North America to me. Here we have the sea lion. And again, the sea lion also have a unique type of gimmick that I will showcase. Here we have the gray harbor. What are you? You're either the gray or the harbor seal. You're the gray seal. So I have the seal here too. But the Bear Cave Cafe will go into explorer mode. And we're just gonna go through the walls. It's okay. Oh, they were here. But yeah, a restaurant with a view of the animal. Something that I really want to do for the longest time. Finally had the chance to do it. But I already talked about this already. Oh, look at that, a bear. Just imagine you're having your pizza or your hamburger, like these two gentlemen right here, and all of a sudden a bear comes in staring at you. Don't you worry. It's just a one-way glass, so they can't see you, but you could see them. So yeah, very unique for the exhibits. Oh, look at the two cubs. Aww, they're so cute. But yeah, just playing around with some of the exhibits, some of the gimmicks that we could have in this game. Hopefully that also like motivates you guys to play because it's really fun just to play some of the sceneries in here. The restaurant also have a underwater viewing. Look at that. Now here's the thing. This is really cool. For the restaurants, you could link tables and chairs and all of that stuff, a booth like this. And what's good about it is that you don't need a path for them to walk in here. they just disappear and reappear. I really did talk about this already in part 3, but just to give a little heads up, like you could still have guests here, make an underwater viewing whatsoever, and they'll just pop out. Seems like they are watching the animals, and it doesn't seem, you don't need to add it so much excessive items here and there, which is really cool. It's something that you should take advantage on a game like this. Look at our sea lion. And again, look, this is all I did. Nothing fancy. There's no, um, how they get in there. I don't know. The game they just do it. Oh, I totally forgot to mention, um, this one as well. We're going back to river. Yeah, see, another example of it is that, there's no bridge and here and there. I know it seems unrealistic in a way, like how do they get here? You know what I mean? But again, it's at least we have people in here. Why? It's fine by me. It's fine by me. But yeah, so we have the sea lions, the seal. We have Bellagio Lake. Here's something that this. I'll tell you, this structure right here took me weeks. Took me weeks to actually get. Don't. It's once you get the hang of things, it starts to get easier day by day. So, you know what? Just learn. Don't be afraid to start on something. This is the butterfly garden. The butterfly garden. We have the monarch, the swallowtail, and I totally forgot the other butterfly. But yeah, North American based butterflies only. Let me see if this is the cloudless sulfur. And again with the scenery and all this stuff. Here's the thing. This is also an exhibit animal. For those who don't know, here, let me showcase that. So we go to animal exhibits. You go to here, walkthrough exhibit. Now the thing about this, compared to the other walkthrough, which I'm hoping we get something in the future, is that you can change the walls. Can I change the, yeah, I could change the walls here. So there's solid wall number 1. You could go to netting if you want, or you could go to glass. Oops. Or my favorite, and I'm gonna do this more often, none. Disappeared. Invisible. And you could make unique ways like this, that it seems like it's not in an exhibit. It doesn't look like an exhibit, which is a shame for some of the animals that that you can't do it from here. And that's the whole point of some of these exhibits, that I wanted to feel like it doesn't look like an exhibit. But the walkthrough really did its job, and this is the results from it. Pretty cool stuff. And here I use some of the plantation foliage from other continents. For example, it says it here, Oceania. Well, it says like Africa. Some of them are from, here we go. So we have Europe, Asia, North America. That's appropriate, but we also have some foliage that are not from here. I think this is it, Africa. Yeah, so even though it's North American based, there's some foliage that are not from North America. But again, with the theming here, it's supposed to be a garden, a beautiful flower garden. So I want to get as many flowers as possibly can to make a beautiful garden such as this. Okay, so you see this structure over here. Now, here's something that I want to play around again with some of the tools that we have here. Some of the tools are shapes, and I didn't really mention this, like there's so many shapes here and I want to play around with it. Here's one of the few examples of it, is making some more attractions. You know, I want to do some like mascots for, you know how McDonald's have their own mascots, Chuck E. Cheese and etc. like that. I want to build like something like this, like some Area 51 type of feel for the children, like a playground and all of that stuff. And again, just play around with it, you know. So here's some of my features, some of my aliens that I built. I was honest, I did scrap it because it wasn't turned out, but I did kept you know, the weird little aliens that I have here. And I did have names. I forgot the names already, but but yeah, just play around with it. Like again, there's so many options here. Yeah, I know it could be overwhelming, but play around with it. It really helps you just learning a few things in here. Arctic Fox, was the last minute, to be quite honest with you, a last minute exhibit here. I just want something to fill in the space. But yeah, so this whole area here is something that I want, like something like Chuck E. Cheese, you know what I mean? Some entertainment for the children. All right, so we're gonna go to the Twilight Forest. Now the Twilight Forest, the name speaks for itself. I just purchased the Twilight pack, and I want to build some, you know, something for the nocturnal animals that we're going to go see in a bit. So yeah, some of the buildings right here I did not build. These are already custom, and you know, some of these customs are really cool. So yeah, it's from some of these are from the Twilight pack here. Some of the animals you will see is like our gorgeous moose. Oh, we have a show. I forgot to mention. Yes, these are really cool too. So if you go to the educational center, I say, where's the educational center? Yeah. Oh, it's already done. But like using some of the animal talk show, and then using the talking points, I really love it. I've been using that a lot, and I forgot to tell you guys about it. But yeah, you'll see a lot of these throughout my whole parks. You will never see them go away. You will see them in all my zoos. It's a recommended. So for those who are new to playing this game, I recommend using the talking points. It's really cool. It's really fun. Oh, we have a little baby moose. I'm looking for my big buck. Yay, there you are. Are you named? What are your name? Darko? Start with a D, right? Darwin. So yeah, the moose, but the biggest attraction in the Twilight Forest is our nocturnal house. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to 11 o'clock. 11, 10, really doesn't matter. Let's go to 11. I think 11 is so dark. My park doesn't even open at 11, but here we are. Explorer mode, and something that I really like to experience because I got the Twilight pack is some nocturnal indoor buildings. So what we have here are 3 species: the red fox, the raccoon, and the skunk. But what really takes away from the exhibit is the lights and playing with the lights and the colors and all around it. For example, the red fox has this orange yellowish flavor to it. The raccoon is a bright lime green swamp-like exhibit, because when I think of raccoons I think of swamps. I don't know, that's where I think they live. I don't know if they live there. I know they live like in like urban neighborhoods and all that stuff. And the skunk is more like purplish violet type of color. Yeah, I don't know why I think skunk's purple, but here we are. And some of the buildings are from the Twilight pack, like these mushrooms, really cool stuff. It just stands out. Again, scenery is a very important. I want this awe-inspired wow factor into my park. But yeah, so the only place to see these nocturnal animals is from a certain time, because it's not really impressive when we go into, let's go back to 12. It's not really it's not really that impressive, and I think it's because of my alignment of my building structures. Again, I'm learning, as a lot of you guys are learning and improving. The last and final exhibit is not even a nocturnal exhibit. It's the armadillo, and again, I'll just look at the scenery. How much have I improved for the past couple of months building compared to the first one we see with the pronghorn and the bison. Just look at I'm so you know, I'm very proud of this one. The amount of detail and the foliage work and the rock alignment and all of that stuff, how much I've improved. This is again one of my recent builds. I built this like a month ago when the grassland pack came out, compared to like what, 5 months ago when I built my first exhibit, which is the pecuary. Oh no, the peccary wasn't the first one. It was the bison was the first one. Then the pronghorn was the second one, and then the peccary. Yeah, I started from the bison. I don't know why, but yeah, compared to the bison, yeah, it's like night and day. You know what I mean? But again, you could see the vast improvements that I have been playing for so long really pays off by the amount of time that I take to dedicating into this game. And yeah, like 5, 6 months into building this park, it feels a hassle, it feels like a lot. But once you get your mind to it, it's really not that bad in doing. But I gotta say, I'm finally very proud that I get to finish this. I hope I didn't miss anything, but if I did miss any important detail, again, I have a 4-part video of each environment showcasing not only the exhibit, the animals, but also the whole view, the whole scenery, everything in those videos. So I do recommend watching those videos. This is just some sort of like I would say like a tips and tricks, somewhat of a tutorial, but also, you know, for you guys, especially console players or someone who are on the edge of trying to figure it out if they were decided to buy this game or not. I'll say it again. I do recommend getting this game. It's a very fun game, especially if you like park building, like Jurassic World Evolution 3, 2. But you know, don't be overwhelmed by so many contexts in it. Just play around with it, mess around with it, goof around with it, whatever you want to do. You don't need to start a big park. Start small, start slow, just work your way up. And hopefully, my advice here and there would actually give you some motivation, maybe some inspiration of you playing in this game. Anyway, my throat is getting dry by talking too much, and I want to end it right here. This is Joey. Hopefully, you guys do enjoy this video. Give it a like. Maybe a little subscription will help too. And I'll see you guys in the next zoo game, Jurassic World, whatever. I do both games. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching.